You are welcome to our class on marketing management today. The objective of this lecture will be to explain the concept of marketing and its functions, marketing orientation, marketing research, target marketing, and then finally we'll look at marketing mix. As simple as they are, they entail a lot. And so I intend to do this lecture in two parts in order to be able to explain the concepts more effectively. So we'll begin, and as usual, I will be minimizing or just offing my video so that we can actually concentrate on the slides and the concepts that we'll be looking at this morning. So begin with the definition of marketing. So marketing is the process of identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer needs profitably. Okay, if you're into marketing, it is not the same as selling. Selling is just one of the subcomponents of marketing, but marketing entails identifying, anticipating, and satisfying the needs of customers profitably. So a marketer should have actually found out what the needs of consumers are or customers are, and then come with the entire organizational divisions, especially the production department, to be able to create or develop that product that will satisfy the needs that have been identified in the market. Okay, there may be times where the marketing department or the marketing person should be able to anticipate through research what the needs of customers are likely to be. All right, once you anticipate that, you may be able then to create that product or service to be able to meet that need. Sometimes it may call for a modification of existing products and services in anticipation of the change in customer taste and preferences. All right. And also marketing is about satisfying customer needs. That is key. That is the reason why you need to first identify, you need to anticipate the needs of these customers and then find a way to satisfy these particular needs. And once you do that, people will be willing to part with their money to buy those products or to buy those services, and that then leads to profitability. Okay, so the concept of marketing is not the same as selling, and it is important that we register this. Also, we need to know that marketing is different from a market, all right? So marketing is a process. A market is probably a place, and a place might not be a physical place. A market is not a process. How do I even put it? But it is not a process. When it gets to marketing, you need to go through a certain process. But a market is a group of consumers who could be individuals, there could be businesses, it could be governments who might buy the products that an organization is producing or a service that an organization is rendering. Okay, so with the market, basically we're talking about a group of people that are likely to be interested and will buy the product that you are offering to them. So also we need to pay attention to the difference between marketing and market. Whilst marketing is a process, it entails so many things. By market, it's basically the group of people or individuals, there could be businesses or governments that may buy the products that you want to offer onto that particular market. Okay. So these are the essential features from the definition of marketing. It entails identifying. So finding out by using marketing research about current products, about current market and possible new markets. So you want to identify, first, you want to find out what the current products are. You want to find out what the current markets are. And if possible, will they be new markets for the type of product that you want to serve? Okay, it is important to know about the current product because you want to find out whether there are any gaps similar to the current markets. Okay, so there may be an existing product. If that is the case, you want to pay attention to the current markets. Which markets are they serving in terms of what your rivals are actually, the markets your rivals are actually serving? Okay, so if there is no product, then it helps the company to be able to come up with that product in order to take advantage of what is known as first mover advantage. If there is already an existing product, then it is important to find out what markets the existing product is currently serving. Are there any markets that have been left out? Is there possible that there may be new markets that the existing product is currently not addressing their needs? If that is the case, then the strength of the business will be to produce a similar product, but this time around targeting the markets that have been underserved by the existing product. Okay, so identifying is about identifying what the needs are, about identifying what the current products are, and also knowing the current markets and possibly some new markets that you can serve with the product or service that you anticipate to produce. Okay, then we have anticipating. So analyzing the data collected and using the manager's skills to judge what might happen in this market and how the products might be suited or changed, adapted, or updated. All right. So it is not enough to just know the needs of people and to serve them with certain products. With time, the needs of customers are likely to change. Okay, and that might call for some revision, some modification to the existing product that you are offering. Until you are able to anticipate these changes, you may be taken over by your rivals or competitors. Okay, so the taste and preferences of customers don't stay the same forever. It is important that the marketing division will once again conduct market research from time to time to anticipate or to find out the likely changes that have occurred so that products can be created to meet these changes, or existing product can be updated, changed, modified in order to deal with the changes that have occurred in the taste and preferences. Okay. In the definition also, we realize that marketing is about satisfying customer needs, and that is at the core of marketing. All right. So you see that from our explanation, marketing is almost explained as entrepreneurship. So marketing is not selling. Marketing, like entrepreneurship, is about knowing the needs of people or customers and trying all that you can to create a product or service to address those needs. Okay. So it is at the heart of marketing, customer satisfaction. Making sure customers are happy with what they are buying, will not complain, and will be happy to buy again if appropriate. Okay, so at the heart of marketing is customer satisfaction. It is not just about selling and making money. That is the byproduct of customer satisfaction. If you identify or anticipate the needs, create a product that satisfies these particular needs, then the profitability aspect will be catered for. Okay, so profitability is about adding value to the product. So when sold, the price of the product is greater than cost of the inputs. So it's very, very important that in marketing also, we should know that the bottom line is to make some money or some profit to our respective organizations. Okay, but people are rational. They won't just give you money for free. You need to be able to add value to the products or service that you are rendering to them. And that will then cause them to be willing to pay a price that is higher than the cost of production. All right. So these are the key concepts in the definition of marketing that we have to pay attention to. So marketing is about identifying and then anticipating the needs of customers, then creating a product that will satisfy these needs. And once we satisfy the needs of customers, the company or the organization then will be able to make some profit. Okay. Categories of things that can be marketed. So what most of us know as being things that can be marketed will be point one, goods and services. Okay, in marketing, goods and services together can be called products. All right, so that is obvious. We've been hearing or seeing a lot of adverts with regards to goods and services, but it's not just goods and services alone that can be marketed. Events can be marketed. All right, if there is a boxing match or football match, any of those events, adverts can be made. Some promotion can take place in order to advertise this particular event, and it's part of marketing. People can be marketed. In election year, politicians find a way to market themselves to the electorate in order to win their votes. All right. Places can be marketed. Organizations can be marketed. Ideas and information can also be marketed. So marketing is not restricted to just goods and services, but these other 5 things as well are stuffs that can be marketed. Functions of marketing. So at the core of marketing, as I indicated earlier, is the exchange function. It involves buying and selling, right? So, but that is just one aspect of marketing. It helps the organization to be able to buy. It helps the organization to be able to sell. And that function is known as the exchange function. Okay, but marketing also plays a function known as facilitating function. So this function involves financing, marketing research, and risk-taking. All right, in the definition, we said it's about satisfying customers in order to help the organization make some profit. So that's the financing aspect. Very, very important for every business organization. Okay, you need the profit to be able to fund other activities of the organization. You need the money in order to keep the business going. So you need the marketing department or marketing people to help in selling your products, in marketing your products, in order to bring in the money that will be needed to do other works in the organization. So it supports, facilitates, okay, the way things are run in the organization. Marketing is also in charge of marketing research. All right, from the definition, we said it's about identifying and then anticipating customer needs. You don't do that just sitting in your air-conditioned office. All right, otherwise you'll be making decisions based on wrong data. The marketing people must conduct research. They must go to customers, consumers, potential customers, potential consumers, in order to get somewhat accurate data that will help in identifying and satisfying the needs of customers. So that role of conducting research in order to find out the needs of customers, all right, is undertaken by the marketing function or department of any organization. Okay. Then once that is done, it encourages risk-taking. So entrepreneurs take risks, but risks shouldn't be taken blindly. You should take what is known as calculated risks, and that implies that you should have done some research so that it is not as if you are gambling, but the decisions that we made will be based on some data from the market. Okay, so once marketing research is a bit accurate, then it helps the organization to be able to take some risks, and this risk then brings in the profit that will help the organization to stay afloat. Okay, so all of these functions together, financing or assisting in financing the operations of the organization, helping the organization to conduct research with regards to the needs of customers and how to satisfy those needs, and also helping the organization to take risks, okay, are known as the facilitating function of marketing. All right. Then the last function that is performed by marketing is fiscal distribution function. So this function involves transporting and storing of the products. It is also known as the logistics function. Okay, so before you sell, what it means is that you should have had some goods or some products stored somewhere, and the marketing division that will be responsible for the selling must also play some role in terms of storing those products as well as transporting them when customers need these products. Okay, need these products. So these are, in summary, the diagram provides us with the functions of marketing. So they are into buying, they are into selling, they are into transportation, storing, standardizing and grading, financing, risk-taking, and gathering of data or otherwise information that will assist the organization in its decisions. Okay. We move to orientation of marketing, or various marketing philosophy that are available. So marketing philosophy or orientation is a marketing idea that considers production, sales, and how to create customer value and satisfaction. So for every organization, they may be operating with some thinking, some philosophy, some belief system, or some orientation with regards to how they should produce, how they should sell, or how they should create value for their customers in order to satisfy their needs. Okay, so that is the idea of the marketing philosophy or orientation. Depending upon where the organization is, they are likely to be operating based on some of these orientations that we are going to look at. Okay, so among the orientations in chronological order are: a company could be operating based on production orientation, product orientation, sales orientation, marketing orientation, and societal marketing orientation. So these are some of the beliefs that may be belief systems that may be guiding the marketing activities of organizations. Okay, and it's in a chronological order. It normally will begin with production orientation, then the company graduates to product orientation, then the company moves to sales orientation, they get to marketing orientation, and finally they end with societal marketing orientation. So let's take a look at what they are. Okay, so the production or concept orientation, it adopts the inside-out approach where the organization focuses on internal capabilities rather than on the needs and desires of their customers. They believe that customers favor cheap and available products. So when a company starts its operation and the focus is on the production concept, their belief system is that instead of actually finding out the needs and wants of customers, the base of production should be based on the internal capabilities of the organization. Okay, what skill sets do we have? What type of resources do we have? The people generally, their knowledge, their abilities should determine the kind of products and services that we should be serving the market. So it's inside out. All right. And so it's almost a reverse of our explanation of the concept of marketing. Instead of conducting marketing research to find out the needs and desires of customers, these companies actually want to produce goods and services based on their internal strengths. Okay, they use their internal capabilities to decide the type of products that they should be serving their market. Okay, and the belief is that customers favor cheap and available products. Okay, so if we were to find out what customers want, there is a tendency that we might not have the resources, into either financial, human, or fiscal resources to be able to serve these needs. So we may have to incur extra cost. But if we're producing things based on our internal capabilities, all things being equal, we may be able to produce such products at cheaper cost, and therefore we can sell at cheaper prices to our customers. Okay, so that is the idea. With production concept, let's rely on our own strengths, our capabilities, so that we can produce goods or products cheaply in order to sell to our customers. Okay, so as I said, it's almost counterintuitive to the idea of marketing. And so companies or organizations will naturally graduate from the production concept and move to the product concept. So this concept opines that consumers favor products offering the most quality, performance or innovative features. Okay, so the companies with this philosophy move away from just the internal capabilities, and the focus is on the product itself. They believe that customers or consumers want products that are of good quality, that can perform well, and have so many innovative features. Once again, they have not actually gone to find out what consumers or their customers want, but they believe that if you come up with a product that is of a high quality, that can perform well and has a lot of features, consumers will consume or buy those products. Okay. Yet it's an improvement, because this time around, it is not just reliance on what you can do, but there will be some effort made to produce goods at higher quality, produce goods that can perform well, and come up with goods that have innovative features. Right. But once again, from our explanation of marketing, some key concept is missing. Actually finding out the needs and aspirations and wants and desires of customers is not found when organizations are operating based on the product concept. Okay, so most organizations will then graduate from the product concept or orientation and move to the selling concept. What is the thinking here? So it holds that customers, if left alone, won't buy enough of the organizational product or an organization's product. Thus, it assumes that customers need to be coerced into buying products. All right. So if you, no matter how good the products are, no matter the features, customers will not buy until some force is applied, until they are coerced. So businesses in this, operating with this philosophy, engage in a lot of aggressive sales techniques and other to push the sales of their products. Okay, so once again, they have not considered the needs and wants of consumers. They just believe that once you engage in a lot of promotional tools, you advertise, you do a lot of personal selling, whatever that you can do to push the product, that will be the determining factor in terms of how many of such products you can sell. Okay. The weakness, once again, is that we have not considered what customers or consumers actually want, but we basically want to rely on promotional tools in order to be able to sell the products that the organization is producing. Okay, so from the selling concept, organizations will move to what is known as the marketing concept. So it adopts outside-in approach, where they first identify the needs of the market through research, and thereafter visit the drawing board to produce products that best meet the needs of the customers. Okay, so the marketing concept actually addresses the definition of what we know about marketing. All right, instead of inside-out approach, marketing concept or philosophy says, rather go and find out the needs, the wants, and the desires of your market, and then come back to produce the products that will best address these needs and wants. And that is what we learned about marketing. It's basically identifying or anticipating the needs of customers and then providing products that will help in addressing this particular needs. So until companies get to a point where production is not based on their internal capabilities, they are not really focused on the features of the products and its quality and its functionality, but the main thing is identifying the needs of customers. They have not yet graduated to the marketing philosophy or the marketing concept. All right. So that is the next stage before we get to the final stage. So some organizations have graduated to what is known as the societal marketing concept. Okay, so the marketing concept is good, but it has its own shortcomings. It basically assumes that whatever consumers or customers need, a company should produce that for them. The question is, what if the needs and the desires of customers are things that are not good for them? Okay, so for example, if you have children at home and they like watching all kinds of movies, and they have developed a lot of interest in guns and other weapons, and that is what they want as their Christmas gift. As a good parent, will you buy that all those things for your children because you want to make them happy? All right, so that is the idea. So societal marketing concept want to basically move away from just the needs and desires of customers, because the idea is that sometimes some consumers don't really know what they are asking for. Okay, so if somebody has a taste for cocaine or any of these hard drugs, yeah, it will have been a good marketing concept, isn't it? To just produce whatever products that you can have containing cocaine or other heroin or any of these other hard drugs, and then sell to those customers in order to make money. Okay, so societal marketing orientation extends the marketing concept by acknowledging that some products that customers want may not really be in the interest of society as a whole. So you want it, probably you want the Indian hemp, or you want the cocaine. Yes, you want to make money. But at the end of the day, if we were to sell those products to you, it may lead to some mental health issues that could lead to some accidents, some distractions in society. And therefore, we are not just about, as an organization, it's not just about making profit, but we are also interested in the well-being of the entire of society. So we'll not sell products just because we want to make money and just because our customers want those products. But we want to find out whether at the end of the day, society will benefit from the products that we'll be selling to our customers. So organizations that operate at this level actually follow the philosophy of societal marketing. Okay, societal marketing concept. It is not just meeting any needs at all, but we want to avoid providing products that may be destructive to society as a whole. Right, we'll come to market research. That is one of the core functions of marketing management. If you're into marketing, you need to know and be able to undertake marketing research. So marketing research is a systematic and objective process of getting information about potential customers to guide marketing decisions. Okay, so it is, from the definition, it is not about an organization just sitting somewhere and producing, unless, of course, they are operating under the production philosophy. But that is not good enough. It is important that production should be tailored towards the needs and desires and wants of customers. The way to get to know these needs and wants and desires is through marketing research. Okay, so there are two major types of marketing research. The marketing department could conduct the research using primary research or secondary research. Okay, so primary research is where some questionnaire or instrument is designed, maybe through interviews or questionnaires, as I indicated, to collect the information firsthand from the potential customers or existing customers of the organization. Okay, so the information that they provide will be interpreted and then help the marketing or the entire organization to be able to make some decisions as to whether it will be profitable or necessary to produce a particular product or not. Okay, secondary research rely on existing data or information in order to be able to make decisions. So, for example, an organization may just look at surveys that have been made by the Ghana Statistical Service in terms of the census, and that probably can help demographic data to be able to tell how many people are in a particular location, how many of them are female, how many are male, how many of them are young, how many are old. All those information could be relevant for marketing decisions, all right? But instead of the organization collecting its own data, they rely on Ghana Statistical Service research in order to be able to make such decisions. That type of research is known as secondary research. So these are the two categories or major types of research that marketing people or division will likely conduct. Okay. Primary research, they go collect the data first and from their respondents, that i.e. their customers or potential customers. Secondary research, they rely on existing data or research that has already been done. For example, Ghana Statistical Service, census surveys, in order to be able to make some marketing decisions. So reasons, what are some of the reasons why firms undertake marketing research? One, to find data and information that will help a business understand what customers want now or in the future. Okay, so that's the main thing. We want to find out what customers want, because we don't just want to produce anything at all because we are capable of producing. We want to produce because we want to address the needs of customers. Marketing research will help us to know what customers want. To find out whether current products are satisfying customers. That is also at the heart of marketing research. So you might have an existing product already in the market, but from time to time, you may want to find out how the existing product is helping to satisfy your customers. This is important because much earlier we said the taste and preferences of customers keep changing. Okay, so from time to time, you must get to know whether customers are still interested in the product or some modifications need to be done to the existing products that you have. Point 3, to test new products by asking potential customers to try out the product. Okay, so the essence of production is for you to be able to address the needs of customers, isn't it? So it is very, very important that you get to know whether potential customers may like the product when you finally produce it in large quantities. So you do what is known as test marketing, where you just produce a few of those new products and give to potential customers and get feedback from them as to whether they'll be interested in buying such products in the near future. Okay. Then to assess the results of promotional strategy. For example, to test the effectiveness of a market advertising campaign. All right. So you can conduct market research to see the impact that your investment in some advertising campaign is making. Okay, so it is not just about more and more advert, but are you doing proper targeting in terms of the advert? Is the message actually being directed or targeted at those that really, really need that particular type of information? Okay, so marketing research will help you to know the impacts your advertising and other promotional campaigns are making among your competitors, among your potential customers and customers. It is important so that you won't just be wasting money without getting any results for those investments. Okay. Then the last one is to understand the activities and strategies of competitors. So you can also undertake marketing research to know the likely moves or potential moves and strategies of your competitors, so that you can also prepare some counter moves to deal with those strategies. Okay, so it is important. So these are the 5 reasons why companies or firms undertake market research. 1, to find data and information that help a business understand what customers want now or in the future. 2, to find out whether current products are satisfying customers. 3, to test new products by asking potential customers to try out the product. 4, to assess the results of its promotional strategy, i.e., test the effectiveness of an advertising campaign. 5, to understand the activities and strategies of competitors. Okay. We move to the concept of target marketing. All right, target marketing. So target marketing comprises marketing segmentation, market targeting, and market positioning. So these three things makes up target marketing. You don't just want to stretch your resources thin by actually trying to serve all or the whole of the market. You want to find a niche for yourself. You want to target a particular market so that your resources will be well utilized by focusing on such market. So you undertake market segmentation, then you undertake market targeting, and then finally, you want to have what is known as market positioning. Okay, so target marketing is important because it assumes businesses may not have the adequate resources to meet the needs of the whole market. And that is mass marketing, where you want to address the needs of the whole market. Okay, most organizations will not have the resources to do mass marketing, and so they have to do target marketing. In the light of this, they must segment and target the market in order to offer value and superior benefits. All right. So to be able to do that, we said the first thing is to do market segmentation. What is that? So market segmentation is the process of dividing the total market for a product and service into distinct subgroups or segments, where each segment may conceivably represent a separate target market to be reached with distinctive marketing mix. Okay, so it's coming from the word segmentation, to create segment, to create subgroups for the entire market. And the hope is that those subgroups may serve as separate market with distinct needs that a company may choose to serve. Okay, so if you pick a general populace, you have children in there, you have the youths in there, you have the aged in there. And so if you want to just use even age as the base of market segmentation, you can divide this market into three, right? Where you have the children, or young people, young adults, you have the youth or the adolescents, then you have the aged. All right. All of these groups tend to have distinct things that they want. What children need or want they are not the same as those that the needs and desires of the youth. The youthful age, what you may want, are likely, most likely different from what the aged or old people want. Okay, so instead of trying to sell products and you don't really know the age bracket that you're seeking to address, market segmentation will help you to break the market down. And then you come to ask yourself, which of these categories do I really want to serve as an organization or business? Okay. But there are some requirements for market segmentation to be effective. Okay, it is very, very important to note this point because you could segment wrongly. Okay, so the first requirement is that the market should be large enough to be worth dividing into segments. That is very, very important because segmentation means you're now dividing the market into subgroups. So if the overall market is small, what it means is that when you segment, those subgroups are likely to be much smaller. All right. And in marketing or in sales, the whole thing is about numbers. The smaller your market size, what it means is that no matter how much they buy, you are not likely to make a lot of profit. Okay. So you want to be careful that the market that you want to segment is large enough for you to be able to do such segmentation. Point two, it should be easy to design distinct marketing programs to satisfy the segment. Okay, if the whole market, if the needs of the whole market is the same or similar, then there will be no need to actually to segment the market because the products mix or whatever that you be serving to, the marketing mix that you'll be using to serve the segment might be the same as the overall market or the whole of the market. Okay, so what point 2 is saying is that the example that we had, children, youths, and then aged. It is very, very certain that the type of products that children want may not be the same as the youth want. What aged want will not be the same as the youth or the children. So that is a distinct, those are distinct groups that we can have. Okay, the advertisements and promotional tools that may be appealing to children may not be appealing to the youth, and those that may be appealing to the youth, the aged may frown upon. Okay, so with the next fee or promotion, it might be possible that you can find distinct promotional packages for children, for youth, and then for the aged. That will go for the other types of P's as well. Okay, so once you can create distinct or separate marketing programs for each segment, then it gives room for you to be able to segment the market. But if the market decide that the marketing mix is the same type of mix that will be sold for everybody, then actually you're dealing with a homogeneous market and there won't be any need for market segmentation. Okay. Point 3, the market subunit should be accessible. That is also very, very important. So if you were to create a segment that it will be very, very difficult for you to reach those people, all right, then there will be no need because it won't be possible for you to be able to sell to those particular groups or those particular kinds of people. All right, so accessibility is not necessarily physical access as in road network. It's about the willingness or how easy to be able to identify such groups and sell to such groups. All right. So, for example, if you have products targeting, I think for most of those type of health conditions, the stigma is coming down. I was going to use, say, HIV patients. If you have products that you wanted to be selling to such type of patients, and it is not something that is available in the hospital, but you've created a business for those type of people, okay, it will be difficult. Even with all the education, it might be difficult to be able to reach some good number of people to be able to sell to in order to make good money. All right. So you want to find out whether that sub-market, that sub-unit will be such that you'll be able to reach the people in that particular market to be able to sell to them. Okay, yes. So it should be easy to measure with reasonable accuracy. So very, very important. I said it's about numbers in marketing. So you should be able to make rough estimates of the number of people or potential customers that you expect from a segment and whether that number makes sense in terms of making money. Okay, so you should be able to measure with some accuracy. If I divide this population or this market into this segment, and I decided to serve just a segment, will the number in that segment be sufficient enough for me to make any reasonable sales and therefore profit? Okay, point 5 says each segment which the firm intends serving should be large and profitable. So very close to the point 4 that I just explained. So the segment should be large and profitable. Don't just create a market niche that the people that you're serving are just few number of people. It creates a lot of problem, okay, in terms of being able to make money. If they all even choose to buy, what are the margins like? If you multiply that by the number of people in that segment, what kind of profit will you be making? Okay, so it's very, very important in segmenting your market, in targeting some customers. You pay attention to the size of the market that you're going to be serving. If it is small, then the chances of making money is also low, all right? Okay, so it is often referred by the acronym MASTER. That's the segment must be measurable, it must be accessible, it must be substantial, it must be differential, and it must be actionable. You should be able to reach them, you should be able to sell to them, and so on and so forth. Don't just create a segment for the fun of it. you should be able to reach and serve this particular segment that you have identified. Okay. So we have some basis of segmentation. This include geographic. So you can segment some market based on geography. Okay. You can use demographic basis. You can use psychographic basis of segmentation. Then you can use social class as the basis of segmentation, right? So geographic is basically geographical locations. You can use political boundaries. You can use climatic regions. You can use population boundaries. Okay, and this should be said that if it takes a climatic regions, it should be said that the product that you want to sell in one region will not be suitable for the climate in another region. Okay, if that is the case, then you cannot produce the same product and want to sell to all those regions. And therefore, there will be the need to segment this market and know which type of product should be sold in which climatic region. All right, so that is the explanation that we offered much earlier. You can segment the market based on demographic variables. So we used that example earlier also. So age, sex, race, ethnicity, marital status, family size, family life cycle, all of this provide opportunities for market segmentation. You can use social class. Okay, the occupation of people can be the basis. So you can specialize in selling to just nurses. You can specialize in selling to just teachers, whatever that means. That product could be that it may be something more appealing to say teachers than nurses or the reverse. So you can use occupation, you can use education, you can use income levels as the basis of segmentation. Psychographic, you can use the lifestyle of people to segment, the personality of people to segment the product. All right. So for some people, if a product is so common and available, they see it to be cheap and will not fit the type of lifestyle that they have and the personality that they want to project. Okay, so they want customized products. Okay, so you want to probably design a product where it is not produced in large quantity, but that particular product should be based on customer specification, where those kinds of people need to probably make an order, then you produce to satisfy their specifications. Okay, so you can segment the market based on this geographic, demographic, psychographic, and then social class can be the basis of market segmentation. So what are the benefits of market segmentation? Point one says it improves the marketability of the product, right? So yes, if you're trying to serve the whole market, you'll be more or less doing a guesswork because you are not certain who really needs the product. And so you're just trying your best to sell to as many as you can to see who will be interested. But market segmentation kind of takes away this guesswork a bit, because then you know for certainty the segment that will actually be interested in the type of product that you want to sell. Okay, and that then helps in the marketability of that product. Okay. Yes. So if you know a product will be more suitable to say nurses based on occupation, and you just roamed about in town trying to sell those particular products to everybody, what are the chances that among maybe 10 or 50 people that you meet, how many of them are likely to be a nurse? All right. Yes, so we'll be working as a nurse. But if you were to target hospitals, the chances are that you meet a lot more nurses, and that can help in the marketability and the sale of that particular product. Okay, it improves the marketing strategies because you get to know the needs and aspirations and wants of the people in that particular segment. So if it is the youth, you will know the type of products that youthful population want. You know the type of adverts that will register in the minds of the youthful population. You know how to distribute products if you're dealing with the youth, and so on and so forth. So marketing strategies become more effective when you're dealing with market segmentation. Okay, it improves marketing tactics, the same thing. So you can suit or tailor-made your tactics to suit a segment that you're seeking to address. It improves the business's market positioning. Later, I'll be looking at the concept of market positioning. But then you can push your product in such a way that it gets registered in the minds of the market segment that you're dealing with. All right. You do a lot of adverts, you hammer on particular product feature, say that the segment gets to know a lot about that particular product. Once they want that type of product, your company's product comes to mind. That is the concept of marketing positioning. Okay, it matches the consumer needs to the product. So as I indicated much earlier, this is no longer guesswork, but you've been able to segment the market and know which segment really needs the type of product that you want to sell. And so you match customer needs with the product that you are selling. All right. Then under target marketing, we then have what is known as market targeting. So they are not the same, right? The three things together: market segmentation, market targeting, market positioning, makes up target marketing. All right. But what then is makes up target marketing? What then is market targeting? Okay, so market targeting is a selection of the market segment that are identified as being the most likely purchasers of a company's product. Is the selection of the market segment that are identified as being the most likely purchasers of a company's product. So you've divided it based on age. You have children, you have youth, you have the aged. And based on your analysis, the aged will need that particular product better, more than children, more than youth. And therefore, you settle on selling to the aged. That is known as market targeting. Okay, so targeting involves the process of evaluating and selecting the most viable market segment to enter. So instead of trying to reach out to children, to talk to the youth, you've done your analysis and you've come to the conclusion that with this product, I only have to be dealing with the aged, maybe people aged 50 years and above are likely to be those that will be interested in this particular product. Okay, so the basis of evaluation are the attractiveness of that product to that particular segment, the size of the segment, once again, the growth potential of the segment. So don't just pick any segment at all. What's the attractiveness? Do they really have what it takes to be able to buy that particular product? Okay, and here you need to do good analysis. You may conclude, say, children. If I'm dealing with children, that market is not attractive. Okay, most parents, most responsible parents are most likely to sacrifice their own needs in order to satisfy the needs of their children. All right. So whenever you're dealing with products that the target are children, just know that is the adults, and the children have the ability of compelling the adults or their parents to buy things for them, and so on and so forth. I just felt we need to know about this. So the attractiveness of the segment is key. The size I indicated much earlier. Don't just go for a smaller market size. Already, there is the higher possibility that some people in the segment will not buy your product. Okay, so the odds are against you if you're dealing with a smaller market size. If it is a larger market size in terms of the segment that you are dealing with, there's higher chance that if some majority of them choose to buy, you can't be in good business with that segment. So be mindful of the size that you're seeking to target. Also be mindful of the growth potential. It might be a very good market today, but does it have the potential to grow? All right. What is the nature of the growth potential? Okay. If it doesn't have the potential to grow, then you want to be very, very mindful, because with time, that market is likely to cease, and rather some other market is likely to grow. All right. So if you were specializing in the products dealing with babies, for example, you need to understand the geography and the lifestyle of people. Is the zone or area site that people are no longer interested in marriage. They prefer to be single, and they are not interested in having babies, and so on and so forth. Then it is just a matter of time. The growth potential of that market where you were targeting children will diminish, because people are no longer interested in marriage. They prefer to be single rather than married, and therefore that can decrease the number of babies or children that you'll be addressing their needs. All right. So pay attention to the growth potential, pay attention to the organizational resources, whether you have enough resources to be able to address the needs of that particular segment. That is also important. So the market targeting options are, so you can have undifferentiated market targeting, you can have differentiated, you can have concentrated, and you can have what is known as custom marketing. Let's look at them one after the other. So with undifferentiated marketing, it is where there is a single marketing mix for every potential customer in the market. So it's almost like you've not segmented the market. So it is the same product, the same price, the same mode of distribution, the same promotional tools that are used for almost every potential customer in the market. So that is undifferentiated marketing. Differentiated marketing is where there are many marketing mixes for different segments of the market. All right. So if we just rely on the 4 Ps, so you realize that the type of products, price strategy, place strategy, promotion strategy may be different when you're dealing with children, when you're dealing with youth, and you're dealing with the aged. If you have different types of these P's for these various segments, then you're practicing what is known as differentiated marketing. Okay, so the product in terms of its design is different from that of children and the youth and the aged, and so on and so forth. Then we have concentrated marketing. It has a single marketing mix for a segment of the total market. All right. So it's similar to undifferentiated, but undifferentiated marketing is when you're dealing with the entire market, all right, with the same marketing mix. But with concentrated, you have a single marketing mix again, but this time around, you're dealing with just a segment of the market, all right? So you've decided to settle on the youth or the aged, and you have the same or single marketing mix for the aged. That is the concept of concentrated marketing. Then we have custom marketing. It attempts to satisfy each individual customer's requirements with a separate marketing mix. So I spoke about that much earlier when I was talking about the lifestyle of certain people, where they want things to be customized for them, right? So normally they will come with their specifications, and then the company goes to work to be able to produce a product that meets or matches those specifications. That is what's meant by custom marketing. So these are the strategic options for market targeting. All right. So what are the benefits of market targeting? It accurately appraises and identifies market opportunities and unfilled gaps. All right. So you get to know what are the opportunities once you do market targeting, and what are the unfilled gaps. It manipulates the marketing mix to provide an appealing product that suits customer needs. So you don't just sell anything to everybody. You sell based on the market that you are serving. All right. That helps you to be able to tailor the marketing mix to suit that market. It helps to concentrate marketing efforts on market segments which offer the greatest potential for the company to achieve its goals. All right, that is the whole idea of target marketing in the first place. You don't have enough resources, no organization or institution has that. So it is important to know where you're getting the results from and concentrate your marketing effort, mix effort in those particular areas in order to achieve the goals of the organization. Okay. So move to the next big concept under target marketing, which is market positioning. So positioning refers to the decisions and activities intended to create and maintain a firm's product concept in customers' mind. All right. So you want to register certain attributes about the product in the customer's mind. So that when they're looking for a product that will matches those features or those characteristics, no other company will come to mind apart from your company or your product. No product else will come to mind, okay, with the exception of your product. So that is the idea of market positioning. You want to register yourself in the minds of your customers in terms of some attributes about your product, such that once those attributes become important and a customer needs a product of that nature, it will be your product that they'll be thinking about. Okay, so we have this example, basically cars and what the main things that customers want to look at when they are buying cars. Some are interested in cheap cars, so pricing is important in terms of cars. The decision of customers to buy cars, the price. Some prefer cheap ones, some want expensive ones. Okay. How fashionable the car is another determining factor. So some also want fashionable cars, some want conservative cars, like cars that are not overly fashionable. They just want something that can move them from point A to point B. Okay, so an organization must, as part of their market positioning strategy, must find a way to register themselves in the mind of consumers in any of these quadrants, right? So we have expensive, we have cheap here, we have fashionable, we have conservative. We're just using this example to register this point concept of market positioning. So if somebody is thinking about getting an expensive car, but he also wants the car to be fashionable, then you need to be thinking about how you will position yourself. If that is the market you want to serve, you need to position yourself in a way that you can beat these guys that are already in that segment. Okay, so we already have Volvo, we have Audi, we have BMW, we have Benz. You need to find a way to register your presence in the minds of consumers such that if they are thinking about an expensive and fashionable car, apart from the Volvo, Audi, and so on and so forth, probably yours should also come to the mind of these particular consumers. Okay, so you want to position it, come with a product that is expensive, a car that is expensive, but at the same time, it should be the most fashionable so that you can register your presence in the minds of consumers. If you are interested in markets that will be interested in fashionable but also cheap, right? They want a fashionable product, but they are also thinking about their package. Okay, already you have Renault in there. So you also want to create a product that will also kind of will register yourself somewhere here, okay, or beyond Renault, where it should be somewhere here, right? Depend upon the degree. Maybe the more negative it is, the better, right? So somewhere here is cheaper than Renault and also much more fashionable than Renault. If you have a product registered somewhere here, what it means is that when a customer is looking for a car that is fashionable and also cheap, they are likely to be thinking more about your car instead of the car here. Okay, so you can, this is the whole idea of market positioning, right? This and this may not go because most of the time, if you're going for expensive, those that want expensive cars will not be thinking about a car that is conservative, right? it will make sense that those who are interested in cheap cars will also be more interested in this. It is very, very unlikely, and it may not even make marketing sense to be dealing with an expensive car, and the car is also not fashionable, it is conservative. All right. For even the cars that do not look very nice, most of the time, it is when you get into the interior that you get to know how fashionable that car is. All right. The outward appearance, I don't want to mention the car here because the example is negative, right? The outward appearance of that car might look conservative, not too nice, but just get inside the car. You'll forget about the design and how the car looks, because the inside normally is very, very powerful and nice. Okay, but the idea of market positioning is that when customers are thinking about certain features, your product must jump up. Your product must come at them as being the product that they can't afford not to consider. Okay. Right, we move to marketing mix. Marketing mix, an important concept that we have to know under marketing. So it refers to the primary elements that must be attended to in order to properly market a product or service. It is known as the 4 P's of marketing. So yes, so the primary elements to be able to market a product or service, they are the core. In fact, the product or service is even part of the primary element. Okay, so we have the 4 P's, and we have the product, we have the price, you have the place, we have the promotion. These are the traditional 4 P's that we know. These things must be available for you to be able to have a product, to be able to have a service, and to be able to market. So they are primary elements as far as marketing is concerned. And the 4 P's are known for goods or tangible products. But in service, we have an additional 3 P's. Okay, so you have people, you have process, you have physical evidence. And when we come to service, the piece of service, I will be emphasized in explaining those things into detail, right? But for now, to get into marketing, you must have a product, i.e., you must have something that you're selling to people. You must have some promotional packages in place to be able to promote that product. You must have the means or the strategy for distributing the products to the final consumers or customers that will be buying your product. You must have a system in place for determining how to price the products that you'll be selling. Okay, so these are the common primary elements that must be available when you want to market a product or a service. But in service, because of its nature, you need this additional 3 things. You need to think about people, process, and physical evidence before you can actually market a service well, right? So product in marketing is a good service or idea consisting of a bundle of tangible and intangible attributes that satisfies consumers and is received in exchange for money or some other unit of value. Okay, so in marketing, when we're talking about a product, it is not just the tangible aspect. It could also be service. It could also be idea, anything that you can package and then be able to exchange that for money or some other unit of value, that then becomes a product. Okay, so the tangible aspects are known as goods. So goods are tangible. They can be felt, touched, and held. The services aspect of products are intangible. You can't touch it. Okay, just as the teaching going on right now, if it's intangible, it's not something that you can hold, and so on and so forth. But with the help of technology, we are able to record that. And even with that, it is still intangible. So services are intangible, right? A service is any act of performance that one party can offer to another that is essentially intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. So I just gave you the example. I'm just speaking right now into the air, right? the only way to bottle it up is through technology that it is being recorded. But even with that, it is not tangible. Okay, but it is still a performance. It's still something that I'm offering, though intangible. I can't own that. I can't hold my lecture this morning, right? So that is the idea of ownership. It is intangible. So the production of services may or may not be tied to a physical product. Okay, so for some services, you need some physical aspect of it. For other services, they may plainly be service, they may plainly be intangible. All right, like softwares that are given to organizations or even individuals to run some programs. The entire thing is intangible. You can't hold that software. Okay. But if you go to, say, a barbering salon for the service of shaving, you need the barber to be part of that activity. All right. So there will be some physical products that will accept, help the person to be able to offer that particular service to you. Okay. But the service itself is intangible, but it will rely on some other product, physical products, in order to be able to offer those services to you. So most services also need some physical product, but those physical products by themselves are not the service. They are only a means to be able to offer the service to you. So transportation service, for example, right? The car itself is not a service, but you need the car in order to offer that service of transportation. Okay, so some services and most services, of course, need some physical product, but some you can also have a pure service where no physical product comes to mind. So characteristics of services, they are intangible or intangibility. All right, we've explained that. You cannot see, hold, touch a service, right? Maybe you can see, maybe, but you can't hold it. You may feel it in a way, right? But it's largely intangible. It's intangible. You can't hold it. All right. Then perishability. Services are normally for a period of time. And once that period elapses, that is it, the service is gone. All right. So if you were to pay for maybe an air ticket or any form of ticket for a means of transportation, your service is rendered within a particular period. After the elapse of that time or period, that is it. Either you've consumed that service or not, it will no longer be available for you. Okay, if you book a hotel until you meet certain requirements for a particular period and you fail to show up to use that room or those accommodation for that period, your money is gone and the period is gone. All right. It's just for that period. That is different from going to buy, say, an iPhone or any type of phone. It is with you, I nearly said forever. All right. But it's something that you can use over and over again until there is some form of distraction to that product. But with service, the service is normally tied to time. And once the time is over, that is the end of the service. Okay, you cannot hold that service forever. If you want the same service again, you have to come back and pay for the service. All right. So your transportation, when it is done, you are sent to wherever you are supposed to go, your destination. If you want that service to be offered again, you have to pay. All right. But if you buy a mobile phone and you use it for a call, you don't always have to go and pay the mobile phone company whenever you want to use your mobile phone. All right. That is the idea of perishability. Within a period of time, once the period elapses, that's the end of the service. Point 3, the third attribute is that there is an element of inseparability. Okay. So the person offering the service mostly cannot be separated or disconnected from the service. If you went to the barber salon, if you were at the hospital, any type of service, consultancy service, teaching service, most of the time, the provider of the service must be present in order to be able to offer the service. So the service is inseparable from the service provider. That's the idea. All right. Then there is also the element of variability or heterogeneity when it comes to services. products can be standardized. All right. So if you were to pick any brand of mobile phone, it is most likely that wherever you go, you are likely to find the same type of the same color, the same shape, the same size. But that is not so with service. Okay. If you take, say, teaching, as I said, teaching service, all right, the way I'm explaining the concepts now, you can give the same slide to another person and the interpretation and emphasis are likely to be different from what I'm doing right now. Okay, with the same slides, probably the same time. And yet the nature of the discussion and everything is likely to be very different from what I'm currently doing. Okay, so that is the other attribute of services. It comes with variability or heterogeneity. Products can be standardized, all right? It will be scary to buy a particular type of mobile phone or whatever product and then see a friends who has bought the same edition or type, and then the two of you find some significant differences between the two types of product. Straight away, it raises an eyebrow that something has gone wrong. Okay, but that is not the case with service. The same service could be provided in a different way because it largely relies on the skill set, the knowledge set of the service provider. That is where the variability is likely to be coming from. All right. Then we have the 7 P's of services. This is very, very important for us to pay attention to because when you're dealing with goods, tangible ones, it's easy to be able to explain them. But when it comes to service, for example, what then is a product when we're dealing with a service? All right. So with service, the first P, which I'll talk about in terms of the product, it's not really, we've explained that it's not really something tangible, like, physical product that you see, but we also indicated that most of the time you may need a physical product in order to be able to render the service. All right. So you may need some tools. I spoke about the fact that if it is transportation, you will need a car, for example. If it is teaching, you need a projector, you need your laptop, stuff like that to be able to render the service. Okay, so you may have to be relying on some design and some technology to be able to offer that particular service. So the design and the technology, even though they are not the main service, they are part of the product when it comes to services. They are part of what you will call the product, okay, of the service that you are rendering. All right. The usability. What is the person using that particular service for? As part of the product that you're offering. It's very similar to the usefulness of the service that you are offering to the person. Right? What kind of problem, pain is it solving? What value is it creating for the person? So it's very, very important to pay attention. So in service, the person is not buying anything tangible, but the person has a need that is seeking to address. The product therefore becomes the solution that you are able to provide. But in this case, the solution is not something tangible. It is something intangible, but helps in addressing the pain, helps in solving the problems that the customers have. Okay, but you may rely on some technology, equipment, some whatever, and all of that forms part of the product that you are offering to the person. Okay, so no wonder hotels as normally looks more beautiful than say manufacturing companies. All right, if you go to a typical manufacturing companies, you see all kinds of mess around because some production is going on in terms of getting some physical product. All right, but hotels largely will be a nice ambience and environment and so on and so forth. Why? Because the ambience, the colors, the shape, all the beauty is part of the product that the hotel is trying to offer to its customers. It's not just the accommodation, the bed or whatever that you have, but everything about the hotel is a product that they are selling. Okay, so it's very, very important when you're dealing with service to understand the P's and the pinning service. They are radically different from the 4 P's when you're dealing with goods. Okay, so the design technology are key component, just as the solution that you're providing to the client or the customer. All right. In service also, you can have place. So, and a place could be in the form of a retail, like normal goods or wholesale. It could be done, offered locally or be exported. It could be done via the internet. Okay, so wholesale could be, say, offering some.